Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Harry, and that's
Gribbly. Hey.
We're back again with another AMA answering your community questions of this month. Are you ready to start, Gribbly? And how's your day?
I'm 100% ready to start, and my day is great. I just had a day off. I spent it in the garden, digging holes and smelling flowers, so I'm ready to go.
In this episode, we're going to have a lot of questions, so are you ready for this?
Give me a second. I got to psych myself up.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready. Now I'm ready. I wasn't ready before, but now I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Our first question comes from 24 Ingiddies asks, could you change the notify me when friends are online to a slider instead of a button consisting of the options none, favorites, and all?
Yeah, okay. Interesting suggestion. Thank you for that thought. So yeah, we talked to the community folks about that, and they thought that was a good idea. So they put that on their list, and I think we'll probably make that change at some point. I don't know exactly when, but yeah, good suggestion, and you can expect that to appear at some point.
The Terrorblade 42 asks, will we ever get token rewards for completing repeated weekly challenges?
Okay, right. So spoke to B-Boz about this one, and the answer is so not token rewards, but there is a plan for offering rewards for weeklies that have been completed before. So some kind of reward, not tokens.
Nerdy Animals asks, are you going to add any options where you can mute yourself to everyone but your friends?
Oh yeah, interesting one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I spoke to the community team about that one as well, and that one just provoked a lot of discussion. So interesting suggestion. Give you a hard maybe on that one. We're not sure, but yeah, it was definitely one we hadn't thought of before. So
Yeah.
So we'll have a think about it.
The Real Slump asks, are there any plans to increasing the amount of ink we can use in our custom rooms? What are the technical challenges that you face for doing so? Is it more cross-platform performance issues versus limited space on servers?
Yeah, so it's definitely probably more to do with making sure things run as well as they can on all the various platforms, as opposed to anything on the servers specifically. And so we're always trying to make more ink available. Over the last few months, we've made a few changes that have freed up some more ink. For example, the gadget visibility stuff that we did. I've lost track of time. It was sometime in the past. So yeah, we're always trying to make it better. Like, we definitely want more. But we want to make sure that players on any device, like, for example, the Quest players, have a little bit less processing power. So we want to make sure that they can visit, all the rooms as well. So yeah, that's really, why we set the ink limits the way we do. The ink system is also a fairly blunt instrument. It's not super complicated the way we calculate it. So there's definitely ways we can improve accounting for, what things cost in a room. So the first place you'll see us experiment with this is the upcoming AI system. That's going to be previewable very soon.
Yes.
And that's one of the first things we're doing that has its own kind of budget. So there'll be a separate AI budget that's separate from the ink cost, in an effort to have it reflect the actual costs a little better, so you can plan your rooms a little bit better. But so it's really about making sure the rooms are as cross-platform as we can get them, and that's why we can't have people on super powerful PCs, build things 1000x what a Quest could ever render, because hey, we want Record to be one big happy family, everyone coming together, playing together. So we try and set things a level playing field for all the devices.
Can you tell people, what are you gardening? What's your favorite plant you're growing right now?
What's my favorite plant I'm growing right now? That's a good question. So we have a lot of flowers in the garden. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I'll have to think about it, and I'll tell you in the new room.
Okay, that sounds great. I would love to hear about that.
Okay.
.comer1 asks, the community has asking for a very long time to have ability to save photos to be able to see them later in Rec Room. Would it be possible to add the save button back to the camera that essentially saves a photo as an invention without printing it out? This would allow people to take pictures and be able to post them in their dorm and other custom rooms they own.
The answer is Japanese maple.
Japanese maple. That's a very interesting answer.
Yeah, that's my favorite plant in the garden.
Oh, all right.
So yes, I think the idea is the ability to save photos so that you can go back and look at your photo history, print them out. Yes, that's so I think that one's come up in a few AMAs. We know that people want that one. We want that one too. And I think the community team actually does have a plan to do this soon. I know it's on their list. I always want to be very careful about making too specific promises of when. But yeah, they definitely, I know this is like planned work that they are like, not like, hey, we'd like to do it one day. It's actually on their agenda to do soon. So I'll give you a soon TM on that feature. Definitely something that we want to do, and we think that there's so many good uses for that. Like, for example, like if you use the new clubs feature, and you make yourself a club. It'd be really nice if you didn't have to take the photo the moment you create the club. It'd be great if you could browse your history of photos and pick one that you took a few weeks ago or something.
Right.
And I think same for room photos, same for profile photos. So yeah, definitely the photo album is something we want to do. So thanks for the question.
TerraBlade42 asks, will we ever get improvements to melee combat? When you hit someone with a sword, it will do nothing 50% of the time. Are there any plans to fix this?
So thank you for the question. So I think what we'll do for this one, we know it's not the best. It's a little squishy. It's gonna be hard to like make a melee-based game because the collision not as reliable as you would want. So we're not actually working directly on that. What we are focused on is the Circuits V2 system that we've talked about a little bit. And if you've been looking at our new dev blog, there's some kind of interesting detail you can get of circuits and AI and some other stuff that's coming.
The dev blog's right here, guys.
The dev blog's right there.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, so I think we're not working directly on that. We're instead focused on the Circuits V2 system, and that has a lot of really interesting new capabilities for detecting events and reacting to events. And so I think what we'll do is we'll get Circuits V2 out there, get that kind of running. We'll see how people are using that, and if we still need to do more to make melee stuff more reliable, we can take a look at it then. But Circuits V2 first. But yeah, we know it's not the best at the moment.
All right, thank you so much for that question, TerraBlade42. The TerraBlade42 asks, will we ever get the ability to use our hands to fight in custom rooms? So when you punch, slap each other? Please don't use me as an example.
Haven't we done some punching and slapping in a previous AMA video?
Yeah.
I thought I soundly defeated you in.
I mean that's debatable. What do you guys think? Did Gribbly actually beat me?
That's my memory of what happened. That's
I mean, it's kind of fuzzy there, I would say. Or is it my memory from you punching me?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what happens. So it's a good question. I don't know. Like, it's not something that we've been thinking about actively. Like I said, we've been pretty hard at work on the Circuits V2 stuff. So I guess. So I'm actually not sure. I'll go talk to the team about that one. It's definitely interesting. Like I love fighting games, and so like anything that allows kind of fighting game type things to happen is really fun. So I don't know about your hands, but I could imagine doing something with costumes or other things that you can equip that you can kind of like detect. Let us think on that one, and we'll kind of come back to it after Circuits V2. I said, we'll upgrade your ability to react to a bunch of different events, and so I want to think about that one. It's interesting.
Funky Melon asks, when are you going to update the Unity engine?
We've definitely had that one before. So updating the Unity engine, work is happening right now. So we have people on the team who are actively working on one of the big work items that we have to do is go back and update a bunch of the rendering work we did to make it work on the new version of Unity. But it's happening now. It's a little bit hard to predict because upgrading the game engine underneath Rec Room is obviously a big job, and we got to do a lot of testing to make sure it doesn't create a bunch of new problems. But the work's coming along well, and we should have it out there pretty soon.
All right, that's exciting to hear. Thank you so much for that question. Smart-ish13 asks, everyone's talking about updating the Unity version, but stupid people like me don't know what it will even do. What improvements will it have?
Okay, well, first of all, I don't know how stupid you are. Sure, you're perfectly smart. But in terms of, so why would we update the Unity engine? Well, there's a couple of reasons. So the biggest reason, honestly, is really for our own development efficiency. So every time we upgrade the engine, Unity is both, technology that allows us to run the game, but it also has a bunch of tools that allow us to build the game.
Yeah.
And so, as they update those tools and make them better and better, we can make our internal processes more efficient so that we can get more done, and kind of be happier while we work, and make sure everything's, happening as quickly and as smoothly as we want it to. So that's one of the primary reasons we update the engine, is just to make sure that our day-to-day development efficiency is as good as it can be. And then there are side benefits in that Unity brings new technologies. There is, hopefully, we'll see, at least some opportunities to improve performance. We can't guarantee, it's not going to be a magic bullet. It's not going to suddenly be, every frame rate issue is fixed, but it'll give us at the very least, it'll give us some more angles of attack on how we can make performance better. And then there's often new features that we can use, whether it's in the graphics or something to make things look better. So it's really primarily about internal efficiency, and making sure that we can develop things as smoothly and as quickly as possible. And then we hope we can find ways to use the new tools that come along to do things like improve performance and just generally make the game better.
Kittenish21 asks, will there ever be another expansion to the Rec Center?
Will there ever be another expansion of the Rec Center? Yeah. Possibly,
Okay.
Never say never. It's not something we're kind of actively thinking about right now, but we've done it in the past. We could imagine doing it again in the future. I think certainly something. This is not exactly answering your question. So yeah, the answer is maybe. Yeah. But it kind of makes me think like something I'm really curious to sort of see how it plays out is how people use the clubhouse feature in the new club stuff we rolled out. Because I'm sure for at least some people, you might find that your clubhouse kind of becomes, a hub of activity for your community, in a way that the Rec Center traditionally has been, kind of like as the default public space. So I think we could just want to kind of keep an eye and just see how things play out with clubs, and maybe the Rec Center has a slightly different role in a post-clubs world. Or maybe not, hard to say. But yeah, definitely never say never, but not something we're planning to do anytime soon.
Fred Chevy asks, can we expect future collaborations like raw data?
Interesting. So we definitely don't have anything to announce right now. And I think we're super busy with a bunch of other things. So yeah, nothing really planned in that department. But I think similar answer to the Rec Center question. Never say never. We thought that was a really fun partnership. Yeah. And we're always looking to do new and interesting things. So I think it really comes down to if the right opportunity comes along, I think we'd probably do something like that. But yeah, it's not something we've got any active plans or announcements for right now. But
okay. So there's a possibility out there, just for a chance.
There's always a possibility. There's always a possibility. Like, if you're out there and you got some interesting partnership to propose to us, hit us up. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. That sounds like a good opportunity there. Casual Flipper asks, the recently released creator roadmap talks about Circuits version 2. Is there any info that can be shared about this? Will it affect ink limitations at all?
Okay, so questions about Circuits v2. What can we talk about? So I think we mentioned this in a previous question, but if you're really interested in getting into the nitty gritty of Circuits v2 and similar features, definitely check out the dev blog that we've started updating over the last month or so. There's going to be a bunch of stuff to talk about with Circuits v2, so you can expect to see a lot of info coming out via the dev blog, which is, where is it?
Down right here. Or right there? Oh, right here. Right here. No, right there.
Okay. Yeah, and so definitely check out the dev blog. But yeah, so Circuits v2, what very high level overview for anyone who hasn't, hasn't heard us talk about it before, is Circuits v2 basically is an evolution of the circuit system that kind of takes all of the learnings that we've had over the last few years from the Circuits v1 system, which has been great. Like people have done super amazing things with the existing circuit system, but it has some limitations. It doesn't react to events very quickly. It's kind of fairly complicated to set things up. You need to be pretty clever with circuits to get complicated behaviors. So the new Circuits v2 system goes after those two things pretty hard. It's like it's much more capable of reacting immediately to events that happen. So you'll be able to build a much wider array of game mechanics within. So much more like the kind of scripting that we do for our for quests that we build or anything like that. You got to do things that are much more like that level of reactivity and quality. That's one thing. And then the second thing is it's been designed to be much more approachable and easier to use. So if you're just getting started as a circuits creator, it'll be a little bit more of a gentle on-ramp than the current circuit system, which is pretty intimidating to get started with. So yeah, so I think that's probably the best thing I can say about Circuits v2 right now, other than it's really freaking cool. Like I'm watching the team work on it. It's looking super amazing. We're starting to see tests of it, pop up every day. So yeah. I think check out the dev blog if you want to get into the details. Otherwise, you won't be waiting too long before you start to be able to play with it in the game.
Yeah, and also, guys, we'll be posting it underneath the description too. You want to check it out there as well. All right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
This is cool. So my wife and I and some friends, we took a trip to Iceland a few years ago, and we did all our research, and we went like in May because people told us that like, oh, this is the most common time to see the Northern Lights. We were there for like 10 days. Nothing. Didn't see anything.
What? Common occurrence that happens like almost every day. No?
No, we didn't see anything. But I mean, Iceland was super cool. Really, really great trip. But yeah, definitely didn't see any Northern Lights.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear about that. That sounds.
Except
here, kind of. 3 Pretty Princess 3 asks, is there any way you guys can edit messages above your name for your own custom rooms? Like how do you guys have the community support team or developer above your name? So in custom rooms, you can have it saying owner, co-owner, or moderator.
Yeah, so we do have support for something like that. Like we do show a badge for room moderators already. However, like I think it's not very clear, and I think a lot of people don't really understand what it means. So yeah, maybe I'll take that suggestion to the team, and we'll take a look at if we maybe want to do a pass through those icons to make them more understandable. So interesting suggestion. Thank you.
A big question here comes from MattMan258. He asks, would it be possible to implement a chip that sends custom notifications to players' watch when it activated? For example, you can customize the notification says how many buttons there are and what buttons it would say, and the name and the picture of the notification center. There could be pins on the output side.
Okay, but sorry, I interrupted. The question is, can we do something where the circuit system can buzz your watch and send you a notification kind of thing?
Yes, exactly.
We think that's a great idea. We have actually been discussing some similar ideas. So I don't want to make any promises about when we might do this. Like I've mentioned, we got AI, we got Circuits V2, so we're really, those are pretty heavy lifts, so we got a lot going on there. But there are some really, really interesting ideas about how the circuit system could interact with your watch. For stuff like this. There's also some other ideas we've been talking about, but I'll just be a tease and won't get specific about it. But yeah, I think it's a really good idea, and it's definitely we've been thinking along similar lines. So in a post-Circuits V2 world, that might be something we look at.
All right, stay tuned, guys, for that. That happens there. All right, our next question comes from...
Like how vague that one was?
Dang, that was perfect. Where people are like,
Okay.
I think that's probably better than to say it is or it isn't coming. So
you got to dodge and weave, Harry.
Yeah, I know. I need to learn how to do that because sometimes I get like, I answer it or I'm like, no. I need to make sure I need to go in between and dodge and weave like you're doing.
Yeah. Amateur move.
I know.
Imagine answering a question.
T_butter asks, will there ever be a way to detect projectiles, trigger zones, give projectiles tags?
So detecting projectiles. So I think the answer here is probably. It's definitely something that's come up as a request many times. But I think, like I've said a few times now, you'll notice a theme in this AMA because, honestly, because we're getting pretty close with these things. This would come after Circuits V2 because, like I've said a few times, one of the goals of Circuits V2 is to improve the ability of the circuit system to react to things, especially things that are happening quickly, and you need to react to them immediately. Something like a paintball projectile going into a trigger zone would qualify as that kind of event. So don't want to make any promises. It's a good idea and definitely something that's been requested a bunch of times. So we'll definitely look into it as soon as we get Circuits V2 out there.
Luminous VR asks, what is the current status of RecRoute 2? Is it turning out good? And will it be a little different apart from the lower graphics? Thanks.
So we're not currently working on RecRoute 2.
Yeah.
We've talked about it in a few AMAs, like often the question comes up of like, hey, when is RecRoute Season 2 coming? And, we realized a while back we're not going to do Season 2 of RecRoute. We would more likely RecRoute 2. But it's not something we're actively working on. We've got a pretty full workload with the AI stuff, the Circuits V2 stuff, a bunch of other things we're working on. So yeah, RecRoute 2 is not something we're currently working on. Not sure when we'll get to it. We definitely have some ideas about what we'd like to do, but I don't want to set your expectation that it's going to like suddenly appear anytime soon. The next thing you'll see from us is actually an update to charades. So we're doing a little bit of work on charades. It's been one of our earlier activities, and we haven't given it a kind of a once over for a fairly long time. But we wanted to kind of get back in there and do a bunch of work on that. So yeah, that'll be the next kind of like sort of game update that you see from us. Will actually be a tweak to charades.
Awesome. Yeah, charades is one of my favorite games. What about, are you any good with charades yourself?
Oh, I'm a charades master, Harry.
What?
You know, I'm essentially unbeatable. Yeah.
I have to see that one day. That sounds amazing.
This is actually a really good example of like, why we love to hear from players of the game, because we did a Reddit thread talking about like, hey, we're probably going to do some work on charades soon, and we got really, really good suggestions, and people talking about, hey, we'd love it if you updated this, but we like this the way it is, so please don't change that, blah blah blah. Really good feedback, so that was really useful. So yeah, just a kind of good example of like, why it's really good if you've got something you want to say, come talk to us on the Reddit, come talk to us on the Discord. We love hearing from people. And this charades update is going to be a good example of why. You know what it reminds me of is food that we ate in Iceland. Fermented shark.
You actually ate shark?
Yeah.
How does it taste?
Disgusting thing I've ever tasted. It was awful.
Oh, that's
it tastes like cat pee made out of sandpaper.
Oh my gosh. I just kind of vomited in my mouth a little bit thinking about that. Thank you. That was very
it was
detailed.
Awful.
Is it very...
Anyway, that's what this beautiful room reminded me of.
Wait, is it like more of like a common dish in
it's I honestly couldn't be sure. Like, so this was, we went to like a very traditional Icelandic restaurant that was, very well regarded, and like I honestly don't know if they're trolling us or not.
Oh,
I think they were. But they were like,
times,
this is a traditional Icelandic delicacy, and it's served with this liqueur called Brennivin, which is like this kind of, that stuff was like, remind me of like ouzo, if you've ever had ouzo.
No.
Anyway, you have Brennivin and you have fermented shark, and fermented shark was literally the most foul thing I've ever tasted in my life.
My goodness.
And all the Icelandic people I talked to about it just kind of went, They just laughed at me. Yeah.
If we have any Iceland fans out there, please leave in the comments saying that if it's delicious or not. We don't know.
Iceland is amazing. What beautiful, wonderful, amazing country. The shark is terrible. Don't eat the shark.
Don't eat the shark, guys. Commer1 asks, what are the future plans for Screenshare prop? I know there are a lot of technical hurdles to something that could essentially broadcast your desktop screen to others, but curious to hear what the team has been considering for this awesome tool.
Yeah, so Taco's asking about the desktop sharing tool.
Yeah.
So that's a prop that you can spawn from the Maker Pen, and if you're on a PC, it lets you broadcast your desktop at 1 frame a second, so it's not good for watching video. But it's really designed for PowerPoint kind of presentations, sharing documents. It was really something that we did because of this whole, COVID stuff. We had to start working remotely. So we very quickly went from being a team that was all together in an office. Well, you were there, Harry.
I know. Briefly, we were all there.
We suddenly were like, all right, everyone's working from home all of a sudden. And we've been using Rec Room for all of our meetings. We do our morning meetings and our company meetings in Rec Room, which has been really interesting.
Yeah.
But we quickly realized, man, we need the ability to project, a Google Doc. So, we can be talking about it, taking notes and stuff. So that's really why we put the feature in. And we knew there's a lot of people out there who kind of in a similar situation and, might be suddenly working remote and might appreciate, access to that same tool. So that's why we did it. That's probably going to give you a hint about the future of it. It's really designed for, classroom style use cases, presentations, meetings, that kind of thing. So I think there's a couple of things we want to do. So one is like right now it's still a kind of a science department feature in that, you can only see it, use it, if you've emailed the science department at recroom.com and kind of been added to the list. I think we're probably getting close to a point where we'll probably remove the science department requirement and just open it up for anybody to use. It'll still be private rooms only, so you can't just like put them anywhere in public rooms, because like I said, they're really designed for presentations, classrooms, that kind of thing. So I think that's probably the major change you can expect is that it'll be easier for everyone to access it. And then, we've talked about, maybe we can support video, maybe we can support synced audio. I think we want to just think about that more. We've got plenty of other stuff on the boil, so I don't want to kind of like, promise that we're about to do that or anything. But, I think that is potentially interesting. But I think like everything, it'll be really driven by what we see people doing, where we see the demand for things. So yeah, for both the desktop sharing and the audio sharing speaker, then yeah, like just let us know what you're trying to do with them, and we'll see how it goes when we open it up to broader access.
Yeah, it's an amazing tool, and I have to say it's really cool just seeing meeting presentations on screen. Just give you a good visual of everything, so it just keeps everyone focused on what they're doing. So it's awesome. The company meetings have been
pretty cool. Yeah,
it's really cool. It makes everything so interactive in a way. So I really like it a lot.
Right.
Ashton12006 asks, any plans for adding new maps to laser tag?
Interesting. So, not currently. Like similar to the Rec Royale 2 answer, we're really kind of right now focused on things like the AI, things like Circuits V2, things that are really going to lift up the ability for our creators kind of build stuff that's a lot more like our laser tag, a lot more like our Quest. We're going to bring a lot of the same tools that we use and put them in the hands of our creators. And so that's slowing us down a fair bit on, us going ahead and building new quests, building new laser tags. That's not to say we'll never do that again. It's just not our current focus. And we're really much more focused on lifting up the quality of the tools that are available to our creators. So that said, I think an interesting thing you're going to see soon is we're starting to support playlists in Rec Room. We're going to do a bunch of interesting experiments about allowing people to sample playlists of community-made maps. And so I think probably the most likely scenario where you see a new laser tag map in the near future is via a playlist where we've got creators who are creating laser tag maps with the AI tool, so it can be the same gameplay, with Circuits V2, so you can build interesting new mechanics. And kind of putting them together into a new playlist that includes some of the, that tries to surface the best of the community-created maps. So I think that's more likely than us building a new one immediately. But yeah, in the long term, probably we'll do some more. But it's not our current focus.
It's super exciting to see the whole playlist idea of it, having all the new V2 stuff. It's so cool.
Yeah, so the way we think about a lot of the creation tool stuff is we kind of there's a very rough kind of tick-tocking back and forth between the ability to build functional stuff and then the ability to make things look really cool, and then kind of tick-tock back to the ability to create stuff. I think with the since we shipped Mood Plus and the animation tool and a bunch of other recent features, we've seen just I'm looking around because of how amazing this room is, right? If you haven't gone through the Wonderland hashtag, for the recent contest rooms, man, you really are missing out. The creators are just making absolutely beautiful, absolutely amazing rooms, and often they have really incredible gameplay and functionality in them too. That's going to be really leveling up a lot with AI and Circuits V2. So I think we're really just blown away by how much improvement we see just week to week, month to month in the community created rooms, and so we're really excited to kind of keep feeding new and interesting tools and seeing what kinds of crazy, beautiful stuff people can build. So it's really where our focus is at the moment.
Yeah, super exciting, guys. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Wonderland contest especially. Wow. I just can't believe the amount of submissions and creativity. I'm I can't believe.
I must have said this in a previous AMA, but it's ever since I think back in 2017 we started really seriously doing creator tools and allowing people to build things, and I think at least once a month since then, there's been some kind of moment where I'm just mind blown about what creators have managed to build. And the Wonderland contest was that again. Only it was multiple of the entries. I was just this is incredible.
That's what I was thinking to myself. Yeah. I'm oh, Wonderland mushrooms, but no. Then we get something like this. I'm what? You guys are crazy. You guys are amazing. What?
Yeah, I know. Super cool stuff. But so the playlist stuff is going to be really, really fun, and you'll see us talking a lot more about playlists soon.
All right. Thank you so much for the question there. 24 in Giddies asks, new laser tag gear would be cool.
The laser tag merch booth, maybe some more laser tag themed items.
Yeah,
that's a possibility. Let me go pitch that to the art crew and see what they think of that.
Dr. Grape on Rec Room asks, I have two questions. One, will clubs ever get more customizations, such as custom club ranks, or permissions that transfers into other permissions for clubhouses? Will we ever be able to send players via chip into another room or sub-room? Keep up the good work.
All right. Well, thank you for the kind words.
Thank you.
Dr. Grape.
Dr. Grape.
Mr. Grape or Dr. Grape?
Oh, it was just Dr. Grape on Rec Room.
All right, the first one was club customizations. So we just shipped the very first version of clubs. Well, technically, second version of clubs. We had a very minimum version of clubs from like 2017 or something. Anyway, the real version of clubs we just shipped. And frankly, we've been blown away by the level of interest and how many clubs people have built and like all the cool clubs that have sprung up. So really loving to see, people forming clubs and creating collections of like-minded players to go and have fun together. That's awesome. I think it was, what was it, club ranks with permission level? So I'm not sure on that specific feature, but definitely you'll see us upgrading the clubs feature and listening to feedback and building it out. So yeah, let me take that to the clubs team. I'll make sure they've seen that suggestion. I know they are working on announcements for clubs, so you can like making it easy to kind of broadcast club events and upgrading events so that they work better with clubs. So yeah, I think you can expect to see us investing in clubs over the next few months to kind of level them up a whole bunch.
Yeah, it's a really exciting time in Rec Room, guys. If you guys don't have a club, make sure you go visit one and join or create your own. And Sean made a cool video out there, so make sure to check that out as well.
Oh yeah, and it's also a way to get a sneak preview of a new UI system that we're working on. I think we got a question on that a bit later, so we'll talk about that then.
All right.
There was a second question from Dr. Grape. The second question was...
will we ever be able to send a player via chip into another room or subroom?
Oh, yes.
Oh, there you have it. Oh my goodness. Yes, that sounds amazing. and speaking of clubs, I think we have about like over 2,000 clubs now, I believe.
I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the numbers. I think it's considerably more than that here.
Whoa, that's incredible. So guys, keep it up. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, really, really amazing. It was very exciting to see so many great clubs form and like on every topic you can think of.
Yeah,
like,
oh my gosh.
It's really, really fun. So yeah.
I'm excited. Oh, any like surprising clubs that you joined or anything interesting?
That's a good question.
How about a?
Well, I definitely joined the the creative club that Maurice is running, so I can kind of see all of the exciting, keep in touch with all the creators. I know Emily Waffles has created a music club. So I was very excited to join the music club, the kind of music themed club. And actually, like I've been chatting with her about, maybe we'll do a club event where we talk about the music of Rec Room a little bit and kind of do like a little club event there. So that could be really fun. So that one's a club that I got excited about. And I actually haven't gone looking. I want to go find an Aussies in Rec Room club. I'm sure there's got to be one.
Oh man!
If not, some Aussie out there, create a Aussies in Rec Room club and invite me because I will proudly join that club.
Legends Collide TV asks, when will we be able to cancel pending friend requests?
Ooh, Oh, good question. Yeah. I don't know in terms of timing, but yeah, we agree that's really kind of something that you should be able to do, and so we've added it to the backlog, and the team that works on that will get to it in due time. But yeah, that's definitely something you should be able to do. So thank you for the reminder and the suggestion.
Affinities9 asks, sorry if this wasn't answered in the previous AMA, but will the swords on Oculus Quest be fixed to no longer jitter behind where your hand is when moving? Thank you. I guess they're having a jitter problem there.
Good question. So I'm actually not personally aware of that issue. So I raised it with the test team. They said they weren't sure about it either, but we've logged it as a bug. We'll go take a look. And actually, if you have any more information about how to get that to happen, hit us up on the Reddit or hit us up on the Discord. Get in touch with us and let us know. Because yeah, if we can reproduce it, we can usually fix it. This one we're not really aware of the specific issue you mean, so we could use some more info on that one. But consider us alerted to that there might be a problem with swords on the Quest.
Chain Champula asks, are there any plans to rework vote kick system? Maybe like adding a menu to state why somebody's getting vote kicked?
Yeah, the question is about like, can we add some more ability to talk about why someone is getting vote kicked? So yeah, looking back, you used to be able to do that, but we used to have vote kicking and reporting were kind of combined into one feature, and when we split them out, the reporting kept the reasons and the vote kick didn't. So it's an interesting one. So yeah, so I'm going to take that to the community team and talk to them about it, and we'll have a chat about that and see if that one makes sense. But good suggestion.
R_werewolf asks, will there be a whippable objects added to the maker pin in the future, similar to how you were able to whip barrels and planks?
So question is about so we finally added the much requested whip to the maker pen palette so that you can whip things in your own room. To everyone's distress, we were not able to add the crescendo of the blood mood whippable targets, which are kind of a locomotion feature. So you could whip and you get kind of like, it's like a grapple gun kind. Anyway, so we ran into some technical difficulties with making them generic and just giving you the ability to put them just anywhere. When I spoke to the creation tools team, they were like, yes, we can make it work. We're not sure when. So you can expect to see that in the next update.
Oh, that's
no, I'm kidding. Oh. They said they weren't sure when.
I was like,
and that I would be in trouble if I said something like it would be in the next update.
All right, well, stay tuned. Just all I can say is stay tuned for that.
Yeah, so I think eventually they'll show up. But yeah, it might take a while. So sorry about that.
Sanito Shiri asks, is the next quest already planned in progress?
Yeah. So I think no, not in progress. The kind of like, I think we talked about this in a previous question. Right now, we're really, really focused on putting a lot of energy into leveling up the creation tools. And so we're kind of like not actively working on things like Rec Royale 2 or a new quest. That's not to say we'll never do it. It's just that not our current focus. We've got a lot of interesting ideas for quests that we could do. But I think first order of business is, we feel like with a little bit more investment, we can kind of get to the point where players can build things that are, on a similar level of quality to our quests. And so we'd really like to kind of get that going, and then, we can kind of come back and kind of like build out the next level,
That's going to be insane for custom quests, for AI and everything. Oh my goodness.
I know.
JJ Cabral asks, when will we be expecting a new quest? It's been a while since Crescendo came out, and I think a lot of people are hoping for one to come out soon. Could you tell us when to expect it to come out?
So yeah, all right. So I think we kind of mainly just talked about this in the previous question. So I think I can just repeat what I said mainly, which is like, we're not actively working on a new quest right now. We're not actively working on Rec Royale right now. We're sort of like very deliberately prioritizing leveling up the creation tools, because we feel like we're right at the cusp of, if we can put features like the AI tools, the circuits tools, a bunch of other stuff we have planned. If we can get that into creators' hands, it's really going to let them kind of catch up to where we were when we built Crescendo, and unlock all of that creativity and allow the creators to kind of build a bunch of experiences. That's not to say we'd never build another quest. I think we have a bunch of really cool ideas and stuff we'd like to do, but we want to kind of unlock the community creativity first. If we go back and build something internal. So I wouldn't hold your breath for a new quest or Rec Royale 2. Never say never. We'll get there, but yeah, right now we're really, really focused on unlocking the creativity of the creator community, and that's going to be where you'll see new things like quests coming out in the near term.
All right. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Is that an air conditioner stuck into that tree?
Yeah, it's a very modern treehouse, I would say, almost.
Yeah.
Churchy Husky asks, is the AR room something you guys are thinking of working on in the future, or is it just a one-time experiment? Personally, I think it's very cool and would love to see it get some more development.
Okay, yeah. All right, so the question is about the AR room, which is something that we just released in the last update.
Yeah.
It's only available to iOS players at the moment, and it basically allows you to bring the full Rec Room experience into augmented reality mode. So into basically your real world. You can invite Harry or anyone else from Rec Room. You can place props, you can play games, so it's really kind of an interesting experiment. I think we're not 100% sure exactly what we're going to do with that. We really wanted to, we kind of built it as an internal experiment. We thought it was really cool. Anyone when we showed it to, people seem to be like, wow, that's really interesting. So we wanted to kind of get it into people's hands and kind of just see what kind of creative things people did with it. Definitely something that we've seen a few examples of, and would love to see more of, is people taking AR photos. There've been some really, really cool and creative,
pretty cool, yeah.
Combinations of Rec Room and the real world on iPhones and things. So yeah, by all means, give that a try and share the results with us. We'd love to see them. Put them on Instagram would be a great place. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the next step of that one is. We just kind of want to see what people do with it, and a lot of us on the team have some experience with AR,
yes.
and are very interested to see that technology evolve. And so kind of like with Rec Room and AR is definitely something we're going to continue to do, but I'm not sure exactly what form it'll take.
24 in Giddies asks, now that Crimson and Lasertag are on the Oculus Quest, could we possibly see daily challenges for Crimson and Lasertag?
Okay, yes. B-Boss says, yes, they're back already, and for the reminder.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Thank you so much for the question there. Appreciate it. And our last question comes from Jeffy07734 asks, the new UI for Clips is missing one thing that made Rec Room UI very special. Intuitive and more fun to use. Physical buttons that pop out. This is a huge feature for Rec Room that I will not let go with any ease. What are the devs' stance on this now that has been showed to players and feedback that has been given?
Okay, yeah, so the question is about the, if you go to the Clubs button, watch, and press it, you'll get a preview of a new UI style that we've been working on. So this is like an internal project where we're sort of doing a new UI system that's a lot easier for us to work in, kind of enables us to iterate a lot faster on the layout of the UI and stuff. So yeah, we've been reading all the feedback. You know, it's a preview. It's not finished yet. So we got more work to do to, make it more fun to interact with in VR, make it perform better on all the various platforms. So yeah, no, we're reading all the feedback, and yeah, you can continue to expect us to iterate on the look and feel of the new UI. Kind of nice, yeah. So there's some really nice features of it under the hood, which make our lives much easier. For example, you know, the little cards that represent players and clubs and things like that are now, you know, we're going to reuse them all over the place. It's like, I'm going to get in the weeds. It's a real pain. It's a pain in the butt to make stuff in the existing watch menu. It's much easier and faster to do it in the new one.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. This is the latest AMA. I want to say thank you so much, Mr. Gribbly, for coming and sharing your time here as well. Any thoughts you want to share with us?
So, well, the pleasure is always mine, Harry. I love doing the AMAs with you, and I love answering everyone's questions. So I hope everyone's staying safe out there. You know, it's kind of a crazy time for all of us. So yeah, please be safe out there. Wash your hands. Take care of each other. We love you. Thank you for playing Rec Room, and we'll talk to you next AMA.
That sounds like a plan. Thank you so much, Gribbly. I appreciate it. For everything here, guys.
I just punched my wall.
Oh God! Oh, careful, guys.
We're all good.
Yeah,
we're all good.
We're good. Yeah. I have a play space that is like a circle carpet.
Now we got to socially distance, Harry.
Oh yeah. Hey.
6 feet.
6 feet apart, guys.
Bye.
Guys, for everything Rec Room, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later in the next AMA. Thank you so much, Gribbly. Bye, guys. Have a wonderful day and stay safe out there.